We're going back to the start of the series now with part 1. So I think you've already signed in with the chat box, so we can go ahead and get started. So a quick introduction to Smith Institute. I know that those that are on here live right now are already familiar with Smith Institute, but for those that might be streaming or watching this recording later, we just want you to be aware that Smith Institute, we offer tools, resources, and trainings to help expand research opportunities in research engagement for our students across the Johnson C. Smith campus. So we do this in several ways. Some examples of our trainings are like this workshop right here. We also do trainings around how to write a literature review and other research related type of activities. We have tutorials online posted on our Smith Institute YouTube channel, for example, that help students register for an account in Qualtrics. Qualtrics is another one of the offerings that we have, one of our research tools or resources that we make available to everyone at the JCSU campus. That's a survey platform. And we also, offer memberships like to the Council of Undergraduate Research, which is free for all students, faculty, and staff at Johnson C. Smith. So over there at the top right, you see that is our building, Carnegie Hall. We are right in the center of campus, directly across from the library. We're in that main floor if you just enter through those front doors at the top of the steps there. So the reason that we push engagement and participation in research is for these various benefits that you see down at the bottom right hand of the screen. So research by nature, it's an experiential learning opportunity for students. And so, it allows students to explore potential career directions. You're gaining these hands-on skills, and so you're able to enhance your resume. You're also, part of research is contributing knowledge in your fields. That's one of the outcomes, as well as impacting the world. You also have a lot of transferable skills that we like to emphasize in as you participate in research. And so this is how research benefits those students who aren't even considering graduate school or not considering a research related career. Research, through our participation in it, we develop written and oral communication skills. Critical thinking and problem solving skills is central to the research process. As you're going through and finding new information through library databases, for example, you're beginning to summarize that information, pull it into a literature review. And research also teaches you how to advocate and defend your work. So you're essentially, with research, you're making an argument for or against something, testing a hypothesis maybe. So those are some of the reasons, why we encourage involvement in research, and also some of the tools, resources that we offer here in Smith Institute to help students get involved. So I want to connect with our purpose here real quick. So we were hearing a couple of years ago, students, they weren't really familiar with graduate school. They might have, heard something about it, but didn't know a whole lot about graduate school, or perhaps they were, determined to go to graduate school, but just didn't have the resources or the mentoring available to help them with the application process, for example. And so we kind of created this, centralized location then to where students can get more of this information with the help of the staff here in Smith Institute. So our objectives then for today, at the end of this workshop, students will be able to identify the common graduate degrees that are available, list some key differences between undergraduate education and graduate education, list motivations for pursuing graduate school, and then identify some strategy that they can apply early in their career here at Johnson C. Smith as freshmen and sophomores or even later, if you're participating as a junior or senior, some strategies that you can apply to help you prepare for graduate school. So real quickly, this is the team here at Smith Institute. I'm Dr. Tara Bangle. I'm actually the Undergraduate Research Development Manager. Dr. Diane Bowles is our Executive Director. Our newest member is Dr. Erica Dugo, a Faculty Research Associate, who's also leading some workshops this semester. Ms. Margaret Watson is our Administrative Assistant. And then I'll let Ms. Talbot Johnson introduce herself. She's on the call with us today.
Hi there, everyone. Good afternoon. I am so excited that you are interested in furthering your careers through graduate school. Dr. Bangle is just such a wealth of information, and I am glad that you all are on this webinar. Thank you.
So real quickly, you know, I know who you all are, but you know, why don't we just take a minute? I don't know that you know each other at all. Maybe you've crossed paths here in Smith Institute, but I don't think that I'm not sure that Miss Keisha Talbot Johnson has been formally introduced to either of you. So Zakaria, can I start with you?
Yes, my name is Zakaria Roper. I'm a junior here at Smith. I'm a biology major. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
Tell us a little bit about maybe your involvement in research so far, and you know, what brings you to the workshop today?
I'm currently involved in Trypanosoma cruzi prevalence in black bears in the United States with Dr. Von Dolan. And I'm joining today just to help prep for applying soon.
Okay, thank you. Justin, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Justin Nixon. I'm a political science freshman. Right now, I'm working as a research assistant, you know, with Smith Institute and also with an American government professor. You know, right now I'm just like researching different sources for her book on women running for governor. And I'm just learning some different research skills and stuff like that. And what brings me here to the grad school workshop is that I'm interested in going to grad school after graduation, but I want to learn more about what, you know, opportunities are available and what I need to do to prepare for it.
All right, thank you both. We'll go ahead and keep moving forward. So just a brief introduction to graduate school. Graduate school, it's just an advanced program of study. It can be thought of as an extension to your undergraduate degree, where you get a little bit more of a specialization. There are three types of graduate programs. We have academic programs, professional programs, and a combination of both. And depending on what type of program you fit into, there are different degrees to match that. So for example, with the academic programs, you're generally going to find an MA, Master of Arts. So that could be an MA in political science, for example, maybe an MS or a Master of Science in Biology or a Master of Science in Chemistry. So these are tracks that are a little bit more research oriented. So PhD, of course, is the advanced degree that follows the master's degree. That's certainly an academic degree. And then there are professional degrees, and professional degrees are degrees like an MPH or a Master's of Public Health, or a JD, a Juris Doctorate, which is the law degree. And so those are degrees that are preparing you for a specific type of profession. And often those degrees are going to be required within that profession, like a Master's of Social Work, an MSW. So there are a lot of misconceptions about graduate school. So we tend to think, lots of students think that graduate school is for students with a lot of resources, a lot of money. But that's not the case. I'll talk in a little bit about some options for funding. People, some students might shy away from graduate school thinking that it's just for students that are at the top of the class. But again, that's not the case. Graduate schools are looking for a diversity of learners, a diversity of perspectives. And so, it's, I would encourage you to, regardless of your GPA, you don't need to be at the top of your class. People also think that some students have been misinformed and really think that, you need connections to be able to go to graduate school. And again, that's not the case. We can leverage your network here at Johnson C. Smith, letters of recommendations from professors. Your professors have relationships with graduate schools that they went to. So this is how you can leverage your existing network. And then finally, students also too think that graduate school is for people who have family members that have also attended graduate school. But we have a lot of first generation students that attend graduate school. We have a lot of first generation students here at Johnson C. Smith. And I want you to recognize that graduate school is certainly open for everyone. So just a little bit to help us differentiate between the undergraduate education and a graduate education. As I said earlier, that the graduate education we can think of this as an extension of your undergraduate degree. It's oftentimes more focused, as I said. So unlike your bachelor's degree where you're taking a lot of general education requirements, oftentimes when you get into your master's degree, unless you have a very multidisciplinary degree, which I think you might find is the case with political science, for example, Justin. But a degree like biology, you would likely be taking all of your graduate courses in that biology department. Political science, perhaps you're taking classes outside of your particular discipline, like maybe there be some geography courses or other areas, other interdisciplinary connections to your particular interest. Often you're going to find much smaller class sizes. Since Johnson C. Smith is a small liberal arts school, you might not see that big of a difference. Graduate education, it's really going to be connected to work experiences. So research assistantships that are there on campus, also, capstones, applied learning opportunities. And then it's often going to be associated with original research. So there are a lot of concerns that students have about paying for graduate school. And I want you to know and be familiar with some of these different options. So oftentimes there are fellowships that are available. I mentioned research assistantship. So that would be one type of fellowship where you would work a certain number of hours each week, maybe up to 20 hours each week for that fellowship. There's also scholarships. Those fellowships, they can be awarded from the school, from the department, or they might be awarded from an external organization like the Ford Foundation, for example, or the National Science Foundation. All of those, there's lots of organizations that are external to the university that offer fellowships The same thing applies for scholarships as well. There might be scholarships associated with the school itself, with the department, as well as some that come from outside. So the NAACP, for example, might be a place that you would look for a scholarship. And then there are also grants to help you pay for graduate school. And so those grants might be research related. So you might be, something with like the NSF again has a lot of grants, a lot of monies to universities. So that might fall under the work of a professor that you have a relationship with, that perhaps that's your mentor for graduate school. And then through that grant, you are able to, attend and work some, apply some hours towards the grant related activities. So I'm going to stop and pause because I'm recognizing that I've been talking a lot, and I just want to see if there are any questions so far. I see a thumbs down. So I will keep on going then. We're a small group, so if you have any questions as we're going, I think Ms. Keisha does a pretty good job monitoring hands up in the, on the screens. So I think she'll stop me if she sees somebody. So don't be afraid to interrupt. All right, so I do have a short activity, and let's just kind of stop for a minute and think about, why are some potential reasons that people earn or pursue a graduate degree?
So,
Go ahead.
so one reason could be that for whatever field that they want to go into or career path that they want to go along, a graduate degree might be necessary, or it might be highly favored in order to, obtain that given position.
Yep. So it might be something that's required. Like to be a lawyer, you have to have that. You're going to have that Juris Doctorate, right? The JD. Okay. What are some other reasons?
Another reason could be just someone who's already in their career wants to go back to school in order to expand their knowledge of their field.
Yeah, that's a good one. Expanding your knowledge. I mentioned earlier that the graduate programs are often more focused than your bachelor's degree. So you have an opportunity to specialize a little bit more and certainly learn some more in-depth type of knowledge.
Sometimes people want to change their fields a bit, or like expand their the fields that they work in. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I would be an example of that. My graduate degree in geography and urban regional analysis was totally different from my bachelor's degree. So going back and getting my master's degree was a way to change my career path. That's a good one. Well, I think you've covered several of the big ones. We also see that people are interested in graduate degrees because there could be more, it could raise their potential job earnings by having that graduate degree. Certainly some careers, some fields are going to require it. Most research oriented careers, you will need a graduate degree, and graduate degree can also help you stand out from your competitors, from your competition, from other applicants. how about your own, have you thought about your own, motivations for a graduate degree? What's kind of driving you to think about a graduate degree?
Well, I think that I'm not saying it's necessary for the career path that I would want to go into or the industry that I want to go into. But in order to like make sure that I have, job opportunities, and a relatively high earning potential, like that's probably one of the motivating reasons for why I would want to go to graduate school to expand my job opportunities and earning opportunities potential.
For me, it's more so to get more in depth into the specific field that I'm trying to go into. Since I'm majoring in biology, it's kind of just general biology, like the basics. I want to go more in depth in graduate school.
Okay, so you want to have that specialization then, that you can acquire through a graduate degree.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my
Mhm.
God. And to piggyback off of what she was saying, like just generally expanding your knowledge and your like skill set so that you're more viable to your employers, and that goes back into expanding your job opportunities because of your expansive wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's a lot more, there's more opportunity to continue to practice your skills. As we're saying, learning more advanced skills, whether that might be in, using particular software and applications, learning new methods or approaches that you might apply in different disciplines or different fields. Okay. So here's the big question. When should you begin to prepare for graduate school?
As soon as possible.
Yeah. And that's absolutely. So, now is the time. It's not too late. And, I think that from what I know of both of you all, you've both been on the right track to help you prepare for graduate school. But the message that we're trying to get out is that we don't want students, waiting until their senior year to start thinking about graduate school. There's things that you can be doing as soon as you're a freshman at Johnson C. Smith that's going to help you prepare for graduate school and become more competitive in that application process. Sakaria, since you're a senior, I'm going to pick on you just for a minute. When did you start to think about attending graduate school, and how did that, where did that come from? Was it a particular, professor that sparked your interest? Did you just always know that you wanted an advanced degree? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I never really considered it in my first 2 years. I think what really got me interested in it was coming to, I think, one of the workshops earlier this year. And then also joining the Ronald E. McNair Scholars Program.
Okay.
Made me also realize it. They also do a really good job at prepping for grad school by having us work on GREs, personal statements, and everything. So if you're not a member, go join, or go try to join.
And so I think too, you're talking about workshops here with Smith Institute and the McNair program, all of which is also research focused, and in many ways, exists to help students become more engaged in research. Okay. So a couple of things then about preparing for graduate school. And of course, we want to start we want students to be thinking about this their freshman and sophomore years. As much as possible. By the time you get to your senior year, that's when you want to be focused on applying for graduate school. So we'd hope that by that time you've already kind of made decisions about what type of degree. Hopefully you've narrowed it down to 3 or 4 schools that you're interested in applying to. And when you're a freshman, sophomore, it's also a good time to start looking for a research mentor. So a research mentor is going to be, of course, that mentor, such as Dr. Von Dolan or Dr. King, who you all are working with. So they're faculty here that have their own research, and you can be involved with them by helping with their research projects. And as you gain more skills through that process, then you develop the capacity to be in more student-driven type of research. We want to emphasize that one mentor is not enough. So there are other type of mentors beyond the research mentor. What we're kind of focused on here at Smith Institute is that research mentorship. And we also, as freshmen and sophomores, we want you to start to gain experience. So, that might not immediately be working directly with on a faculty research project, but you might be applying for different fellowships that could be off campus. We try to promote opportunities for students to participate in research in their classrooms. And so there are different ways that you can get involved, coming to Smith Institute workshops, for example, and looking for, there's just opportunities to outside of the classroom. So, research mentorship is such a key to your academic success. As I mentioned, there's different type of mentors. Again, here in Smith Institute, for our purposes, we're really focusing on that research mentor. But there are, other types of mentors, can help you establish, a mentor might be somebody that you have an interpersonal connection with. It might be perhaps they come from like a similar background or experience, and some way they're relatable to you. Mentors can also help you with networking. That's something that a research mentor can also, is also prepared to help you with, networking with faculty at other schools, networking with professionals, other researchers at academic conferences. Mentors can also help you prepare for clinical work. And there's other types of mentors, as well that can fit our personal needs, as we think about where, what path we're going down. So ways to find a mentor, you can certainly, looking for a research mentor in your own department is a really good starting place. But you might also find them in other departments, through some of those general ed classes that you take, and perhaps you're doing a research project in one of those classes, and you might want to approach that particular faculty about the opportunity for some additional research mentorship. And then there's also, opportunities on other campuses. And so, I wouldn't want to, exclude those opportunities. So keep your mind open for that. Oops. So places where we can gain experience. So certainly working with your research mentor on a project that they might be leading. So that could be, through a fellowship or an internship. There's also, research programs that are off campus. So then the National Science Foundation has research experiences for undergraduates. It's REU program. So those are summer intensive research experiences that gives you the opportunity to travel to other campuses and work with faculty members there, research administrators in their research programs. Several others are NASA, Oak Ridge Institute of Education and Research, which isn't that far from here in Tennessee. And then we also have some on campus, like the Ronald McNair program, for example, or LSAMP, Smith Institute as well. So another way to gain experience in research and build your resume, and again, help you really shine on your graduate school application later on and be more competitive, is presenting research at a conference. So some really accessible conferences are the NCUR conference. That's the National Conference of Undergraduate, National Conference for Undergraduate Research. We just recently, earlier this week on Monday, I think, sent out some information via email about the NCUR conference. So if you have something to present, we encourage you to apply by the end of this month. I think November 29th is the deadline, and Smith Institute is able to pay your registration fees if you let us know in advance and follow the steps described in that email. You can also find more information on the Smith Institute website. Each spring, Smith Institute hosts the annual student poster competition. We do this during National Undergraduate Research Week. And that is a very low risk space for beginning to practice your presentation skills. So you'd be you'd be presenting a poster with other students right here on campus. And so a poster presentation, it's just you create a poster that summarizes your research. When these are done live and in person, you're usually set up in a common space like an auditorium or a room in the library with your poster. And you might stand there. The session might last for an hour and a half, and so you're standing there next to your poster, answering any questions as people come around that are interested in your research and learning more. Have either of you all participated in other off-campus research programs or presented at a conference, or maybe even just attended a conference?
Not yet.
Not yet either. I've done research with another university, but it wasn't a conference. Okay.
What do you mean you did research with another university?
Before Dr. Mark Dugo came here, he was with Mississippi State Valley University. And he was partnering with JCSU basically, and a couple of students from other HBCUs in the South worked with him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you did that a couple of years ago, and it was a summer program?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, good. We want to why don't we plan on following up after this and seeing what you might be able to prepare for the NCUR conference?
Actually, Dr. Von Dolan sent me it I think 2 days ago, and I'm abstract now.
Okay, great. Justin, we'll work on something for you. Okay. All right. So another thing, the university has access to the Student Opportunity Center. So this is an online platform to help you find opportunities. So those could be conference opportunities to present in a conference. It could be opportunities for different, summer research experiences like those hosted by the National Science Foundation. But we encourage you to go in and create a free account, free SOC account with your JCSU email. We have tutorials that'll help you do this on the Smith Institute YouTube channel. And what you can do is you create a profile. You would say that you're a biology student, you're really interested in bioinformatics, and then you would receive opportunities related to your specific interests. So it's really kind of filtering out, all those things that really wouldn't be relevant to you, so that you're only getting those that match your particular profile. Do either of you have an SOC account yet?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, we will get you signed up for that soon. Okay, so that is it for this this first part of the workshop series. I've already got your sign-in information, but before we wrap up, are there additional questions that you have? Anything that you need some clarification on? What might we be able to help you with at this stage?
I don't have any questions at this moment, but if I have any, I'll be sure to email.
Okay.
And I do have a question for the students. I want to know if there is something that you learned here today that was new to you. Like, what is your biggest takeaway or a next step?
I realized that I definitely need to get on track with applying since it is my senior year. I've been working on the stuff that comes with applying more so than actually applying. So I've been doing the personal statements and working on my resume and everything else, but actually applying.
Okay, very insightful. Thank you.
It's a lot. It's a lot to have to do in your senior year, isn't it, Zakaria?
Yes, there are so many big projects.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Well, I think that I'm glad that you were able to participate and also, talked a little bit about, some of the benefits of the McNair program. We hope that's another reason, we encourage students to get involved in research early as freshmen and sophomores. And that allows them to be able to take full benefit of programs like LSAMP or McNair, and be prepared and competitive in applying for those opportunities. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we will go ahead and wrap it up for today. And want to thank you again for attending and sharing some of your experiences with us. So I think that provides an opportunity for others to learn, and it also helps us in Smith Institute think about how we can best support students too.